Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. We are 8 episodes into season 4 already, which is a lot of fun. Having
It's
a good
good
time.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had our first Sunday episode in a while.
Since last regular season, like NHL regular season.
Yeah. Or I think or it would have been in like just partway through the playoffs, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. We did
Something
do a
like that.
couple through there. But yeah, it's been a while. Like good 6 months ish.
Yep.
So yeah, it was good to get back to Sundays as well. And yeah, had some games to talk about on that one. I guess that was the first one where we actually had games to. Well, no, I guess Wednesday we talked about the game that we had just watched, but yeah.
Yeah, we had our first loss of the season to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. And it went as you would expect. I'm sure we harped on the defense and the goalies a lot, and Nate said just before we went live, or I'll let you tell the people what you said.
My goal, because I feel like every game we could harp on the defense a ton.
Mhm.
I'm going to do my best not to, because kind of having a bit more of a realization, just kind of like watching past games and that kind of thing, and like just kind of thinking about them, that it's not the players' fault by any means, right? You look at our defense on paper, is it the greatest? No. Should it do a lot better though? Yes. It is Dallas Eakins' system. Once we have Dallas Eakins out, the defense will sort itself out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
or whoever runs our defensive systems. Like, because I know a lot of teams have like defensive coaches, so I don't actually know what Dallas Eakins, like if Dallas Eakins does that. But either way, it's like a member of Dallas Eakins' coaching staff is the issue.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold my thoughts back a little bit more, unless there's like something glaring, I guess, right? But not the usual, they don't do great at clearing pucks, or just like how they're structured or that kind of thing. I'm not going to talk about that nearly as much, because one, nobody needs to hear that we did 70 some episodes last year. So nobody needs to hear that again for another 60 some, we'll put it that way. And I definitely don't want to be talking about it for another 60 some. So it's a win-win for everybody, I think. So yeah, unless there's something glaring that like is purely on somebody, I guess, that like cost a game or something like that, I'm going to try my best not to talk in depth about it. Not that I just won't talk about it, in depth.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, before we get into these games though, you wanted to bring this up last time and we just like totally forgot, skipped right over it, got right into games. And but yeah, if you haven't heard, Blink 182 is reunited and touring.
Tom's back, everybody.
Awesome.
Nature's healing. Not that I didn't like Matt Skiba. I really enjoyed what Matt Skiba brought to Blink 182, but just Tom being back, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah,
Tom's just been on my yed for so long. But yeah, Blink's back. Super excited about that. And we got tickets to go see it.
Yeah, we did. In Calgary. We're going to be up there. So
yeah. So if you notice the quality of this show drastically get reduced in half. Oh, well, as I was saying, that's how. If you're just listening to the audio version, you totally didn't get the joke. If you're watching the visual part of it, though, you saw that Carter dropped off. I got to explain this for the people listening. So
yeah, most of our listeners are audio. So
yeah,
you got to explain.
If you do just suddenly notice that the quality of the show drops, it's because the budget went to Blink 182 tickets.
Yeah. So yeah, good California band down there.
Yeah,
Blink 182.
SoCal from San Diego, where our Gulls are, who also started playing this weekend,
which we will talk about
better fortunes
in the latter half of the episode.
Yeah, had better fortunes than the Ducks. So yeah, I'm excited for that show, man. Like it's not till June, and I'm like, give it to me now.
Yeah, right. It's like it's like 8 months away ish.
We'll complain about Dallas Eakins another million times before we get to that show.
The Stanley Cup will be awarded before. Knock on wood, because we have to. Apparently, the Stanley Cup will, if everything goes according to plan, will be awarded to somebody by then.
Yeah. He'll be awarded to the Anaheim Ducks, right? Jokes. I got jokes today. Hey, that wasn't called for, though.
No, not for the joke, for Anaheim winning the cup.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I meant it was my joke.
No, it was a good joke, but it's just sad that there's no way we're winning the cup this year.
No, it's not happening. So, not happening.
Yeah.
Which is like bad to say like 4 games in, but we all knew that.
I mean, St. Louis won the cup in 2019 after being in last place in the league. And it was that January they were in last place, like early January they were last place. And then like,
it was like end of January.
So we shouldn't say it's not going to happen, because evidently it's possible, but it's extremely unlikely.
So all you're saying is that to change the Ducks' misfortune, all we have to do is get rid of Dallas Eakins and have Lucas Dostal be the main guy for us instead.
Yes, and 2 Ducks need to fight in practice.
Okay. Now, who are the 2 Ducks that are going to fight in practice? Max Comtois is apparently going to be one of them, as he already has 2 fights in 4 games. And Adam Henrique. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't he fight in preseason?
I'm down for this. Henrique, I don't remember offhand.
I feel like he fought recently, but I could be wrong.
Anyways, okay, you know what? Yeah, Comtois and Henrique fight. We bring Dostal up, and Eakins is gone, and that's the Stanley Cup for us. Gladly.
All we have to do is be in like
do it now.
Excruciating. We're just gotta be in excruciating pain for like the next 3 months, and then we'll be good.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. All right, not physical, excruciating mental pain.
Okay, I can take it. I've done this show now for 3 years. We're on the 4th season, so yeah, I can take another 3 months.
What's another 3? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Last thing I want to say about Blink 182. If you guys are going to Blink 182,
let us
because
know.
They're doing a world tour. Yeah, absolutely. Let us know. But if you want to know what are the 5 best Blink 182 songs, not even up for debate, not even close. Yeah. We did an episode on that way back. I didn't know it was this long ago. It was season 2, episode 21. So even before our 100th episode. Okay. So it was way back.
We did it way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, with this, like we got to talk about Blink. And okay, I guess we've already done the songs. Okay. What we need to do actually is we need to rank the albums then.
Yeah.
We need to come back to it and rank the albums.
We only did like a collective top 5 list, because now we've kind of transitioned to like, here's my top 5, here's your top 5. We only did 5 together. And then we have a few honorable mentions. I'm assuming those are the ones that were underneath, unless we did a top 8, but that would be kind of weird. So I
feel like it was honorable mentions. Can you read it off for me? I just want to hear it and go, okay.
Well, then people aren't going to go listen to the episode.
Okay, okay, how about this? What were the honorable mentions?
Okay, Bored to Death, The Rock Show, and Damn It, which is a pretty good honorable mention list.
Oh, okay. What the hell do we have for our top 5 then that we left Damn It off?
Yeah, right.
Damn it.
Just take a guess, and I'll tell you how many you got right. And then for the actual list, I'll tell you after. But
all the small things.
Let's go listen.
I miss you.
Okay.
Feeling this.
Okay.
First Date, maybe.
Okay.
And it's got to be like another early one. Earlier, I guess. Stay Together for the Kids, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. You got 3 out of 5.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I'm not as disappointed in myself, I guess, or in us, but I am disappointed that we left Damn It off as an honorable mention.
I've sent the 5 to our private chat if you care to take a look, but no, everybody else has to go have a listen if they really want to know what we thought.
Okay, at least we got a range there, I'd say.
Yeah, which I think is kind of what we were going for as well. So, yeah, but still not up for debate at all.
Yeah, no. So I'll debate with myself. All right, how about that?
There you go.
But I think we should do a top albums. Like, we'll take all the albums and rank it. Like, we'll go starting from Dew Ranch, I guess, because there is like Cheshire Cat and that kind of thing, but it's more like actual albums, I guess. I think Cheshire was maybe a compilation. I could be wrong with that.
Yeah, we can do that closer to the off season, or if we've, or like a bye week or something like that. Not bye week. What's it called? All-Star break. I've been paying attention to football too much. Bye week. Get out.
I guess the NHL did.
I guess it does.
Kind of bye weeks though. So.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 days off. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll do it in there then.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. You got that to look forward to, everybody.
Yeah. I guess let's get into the couple Ducks games. Oh, I was like, what? San Jose? We didn't play San Jose, but that's who we talked about on the the Blink-182 episode.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I was like, I don't even have them like typed up or anything. What?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into these games against the Rangers and the
Devils. Do we have to?
We do.
It's lived through them twice
duty
already. Carter likes to torture me because I watched these games and then I watched the recaps of them also to refresh myself.
Hey, I did the same thing. We're in the same boat, and I'm sure everybody else is in a similar boat. Why are you hurting both of us then? Because I like pain.
Kinky. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Let's talk about the first one that happened. The Ducks versus the Rangers. That was a 6-4 loss to the Rangers, which, I mean, I'm not mad about the 4 goals against the Rangers. That's fine by me. That's great, actually.
4 goals against Shesterkin in particular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can't be mad about that.
Yeah.
It's the 6 goals and the 40-some shots that we gave up that is the problem there. So
yeah.
But there is lots of good things to come out of that game. But I don't know what you want to start with here. If you want to get some of the nitpicky stuff out of the way, and then we can get on the hype train, or
you brought up the shots, so I'm gonna pull up. I did see it around. I think the Ducks are averaging is like 42, 43 shots against per game.
Yeah, sounds
again.
Right.
I'm not gonna go in depth on the defense, but like that may be a problem. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say so.
Especially considering who we've played. Right, it's been Seattle, it's been the Islanders, who yes, this season probably be a little bit more offensive, but are a very defensive team. The Rangers, okay, that makes sense. And the fucking New Jersey Devils.
To be fair,
that's not a good time.
To be fair, that's the New Jersey Devils I expected at the start of the season when we did our predictions. So it's a little bit different, but yeah, it's still not fantastic to give up 40 shots in your first 4 games.
No, and like I said, it can be on the players, but it's also on the system that they're forced to work in against their will, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Because you got to think that Cam Fowler or somebody would be like, hey, this isn't fucking working. Can we have something new? Like I saw a meme on the Reddit page today on Anaheim Ducks on the Anaheim Ducks subreddit there. That was like Flanders from The Simpsons being like, we've tried nothing. We're all out of ideas. Like, what do we do? And it's like that is Dallas Eakins, it feels like right now. So somebody else needs to step up and be like, hey, something needs to change here, please.
Mm-hmm.
Besides personnel, like on ice.
Yeah, because you can't do that.
Yeah, the only note, like I said, I'm not going to go in depth, but like with the Rangers, it's a bit more understandable, I guess, with their type of offense. That defense. How I have it written here in the notes, defense is scrambled like an omelet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I mean that kind of speaks for itself, I think.
Yeah, we kind of expected it too, because I'm trying to track our predictions for all the games this season. And
how we doing?
Doing pretty good. Well, you had said 5-2 Rangers, so which is fairly close. Okay. And I had said 6-3 Rangers, so I was actually kind of pissed when was it Max Jones? No, it was Derek Grant who got this.
Yeah, I got the last goal there.
Yeah, I was like kind of pissed because I was like obviously the game's out, like over at this point. Like you guys aren't coming back. Like, could we have not just like given me an early prediction win here at 6-3? And so like good for Derek Grant.
But did you put money on it though?
No,
just good job.
Just bragging rights because I want people to be like, oh man, this guy knows how to predict scores. So I was actually like kind of close.
Yeah, people who are ballsy enough, sidetracked. People who are ballsy enough to like actually try to put money on what the score is going to be. Good on you for doing that. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I've never been close when I like put my money on things. If I'm like going for volume, like over the season, I'll probably get one. I'll probably get at least one, but it's just going to be a chance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not enough that like I would be comfortable putting money down on like the score of every game and come out ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you're doing like 2 cent bets on like a -1,000 somehow.
yeah. So yeah, so defense wasn't great, but also Gibson wasn't fantastic either in that game.
Yeah, no, the note I have here, and it is a bit more, not even just for this game in particular, but for every game he's played in this season. What I have written here is like it almost looks like he's scrambling on every play at this point. Just like almost lost that he's not really tracking well, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Um Defense or lack thereof definitely doesn't help, but like no, like John Gibson's normally a guy that seems pretty calm in net.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like as soon as the puck crosses the blue line into their end, he's just everywhere at that point, right? And like, yes, I get it. The offense is able to just move the puck where they
Mm-hmm.
want, right? But like it's not the calm, okay, move Gibson that we're used to, right? Like
Yeah.
everything feels uh super exaggerated, I guess, out of him and that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. So
Yeah.
like from saves just to movement in general to just everything is over exaggerated right now. It feels like it's almost costing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Um
How much of that do you think is the defense is playing like a different system or a different way in front of him, or in a way that he's not like comfortable with? How much do you think is that? So he's like, okay, I've got to see where my guys are so that um, I can like be prepared to dive across crease to try and save this, or whatever the case might be. Like, how much do
mhm.
you think is it has to do with just an uncomfortableness or a lack of trust in not just the defense, but like the defensive system? Do you think that has to do with it, or?
Lack of trust in the system I could definitely see at this point, but um he's been under the system for how long now? 4, 5 seasons that Dallas
Yeah.
Eakins has been around, right? So like it's not a you're not used to it type thing, but I could
Hmm.
definitely see a lack of trust in the system that he's maybe trying to overcompensate for, that it's not working, at least to start the
Hmm.
season here. Um, I did pull up the numbers that he's in his first 3 games played. I believe it's 141 minutes if you want to get specific about it. Uh, his goals save above expected is a -3.8. And that does take into consideration like the defense around him and the type of danger shot, right? Like the low, medium, high, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For comparison to last year, in 56 games, he had a -14.3. So like he's already over a fifth of the way there in
Hmm.
less than 3 games of total ice time. It's something's
It's
got
not
to
good.
change there quick as well. Like we said, the first few games are like, okay, let's figure out what's wrong and fix it, right? And this is something that needs to be fixed very soon.
Hmm.
If the Ducks just want a chance at any game, right? Like we know we're probably going to lose the majority of them, right? But like if you want to at least be in a game for longer than the first period, right? Like that's something that needs to be helped a little bit there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens back there, like just on the back end in
yeah.
general, defense and goaltending throughout the season. And because obviously changes need to be made, like we can't be playing the way we have been. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think that's kind of enough, at least for now, on all the things to be upset about for that game. Overall, still 6-4 against the Rangers is better than I think a lot of people might have expected. And a lot
Mhm.
of players had really solid plays or solid games just in general. I guess
Mhm.
starting with Frank Vetrano and just his shot on the beat Shesterkin there. And I mean, he's a former Ranger, so he kind of maybe has a little bit more insight on some of Shesterkin's weaknesses that way, and because he's obviously practiced against him before. So it seems to be very common that guys that leave a team can then score against like the former goaltender just because they're used to I guess the goalie's movements and can kind of just outthink them a little bit, or not outthink them, but like outspeed them, I guess.
They see him a lot in practice, right? So
yeah. So it totally makes sense. I mean, not that Vetrano isn't a goal scorer anyways, because he already has one goal already this season, so 2 now. I feel like he got one earlier. So, but yeah, that was a wicked shot.
My note was more not even just that he scored on Shesterkin. It was just the release on that shot. Like, you couldn't see that thing. I genuinely don't know if Shesterkin did, besides like a quick little flash, and that's how he knew to put the glove up, right? But like, you're not able to track that necessarily with the velocity on that thing. Like, that looked like a Matthews type shot almost, like with the like how quick it came off his stick. It was like, I know Twitter kind of filled up with like, holy crap, that was ripped top corner there. So there's got to be somewhere that shows like the velocity of like the goals. Like, it's got to be written down somewhere, right? Besides just
because they do track that, right? So
yeah,
I don't know where you would.
I'd be curious to see like how fast that shot was actually, because that thing was moving for sure. So
absolutely.
If we can see more of that this season, I'm on board.
Absolutely, for sure. Max Comtois got his first goal of the season, which is great considering how last season went for him. Just good quick shot, and no, that one wasn't on the power play. I don't think we got a power play goal that game.
I don't believe we did. I don't have the game sheets up anymore.
Yeah. I think I'm thinking that it's on the power play because Zegras scored a similar one on the power play against Seattle. I think that's what I'm thinking with that. But just that quick shot from like the top of the circle from a cross crease pass. No, it wasn't. So yeah, it's great that he got his first one of the season, and I really hope that it's the first of many more for him, because like we talked about last year, he had a rough season, and I think this year could be another great year for him. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Reniel, how's it going, buddy?
Hey. Yeah, and Trevor Zegras' goal as well. What was that one? Oh yeah. The not quite breakaway, but like
just on the rush there. Yeah. The pass from Terry between the legs of the Rangers defenseman, I forget who it was.
Doesn't matter.
Just right onto Zegras' tape. Like, get ready to watch that, people, because that's hopefully going to be around for years to come, right? Like, I know we have seen it before, but that was just like a friendly reminder of how nice it is to have those two young guys on our team, I think. So, and yeah, Zegras, just with his crazy speed as well, being able to know exactly where he wants to go and have Shesterkin bite to open that 5-hole a little bit and shove it through there. So yeah, that was a fun goal to watch. That was one I had to, when I was like looking at the condensed games, I was rewinding that again. I was like, I gotta see that a couple more times.
yeah, I watched it a couple of times too, because I was like, man, just like how he got the puck and then just opened up Shesterkin like a can of worms. It was gorgeous.
It was great.
And the kid's so young too. Like, he's gonna do a lot more of that for a long time in the NHL. So yeah. I mean, those were kind of the good things, I guess, about the game against the Rangers. Like, we had some good offensive chances, but it was more quality over quantity, I guess, because what were the shots in that one? It was like
shots in that game
43-22. So yeah, like we got almost doubled up on shots, which is not good. 22 is not enough, and 43 is way too much. So
no, like, yeah, my thing is that, like, if the defense system could hold their own, we could do okay, right? Because the offense is there. Maybe an extra piece kind of here and there to round things out, but
yeah,
like, it's a couple pieces and some system changing that, like, we could keep up with the Rangers. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. I have some thoughts on that as well, but I'm going to save it for later because it relates to both the Devils and the Ducks game. So
yeah, sounds good.
So we'll kind of circle back to that. But let's move on to the Devils game that was the following night and Tuesday night. That was a 4-2 loss to the Devils after the Ducks went up 2-0, then 4 unanswered from the Devils in the second and third periods. So, I mean, it looked really, really good in the first period. We were up 2-0 at that point, right?
Yeah, we were. Thanks to Silfverberg. Silfverberg revenge game after being scratched against the Rangers the night before.
That's true. Yeah.
And he went, all right, Eakins, you want to sit me? You're not going to do that again. Went out and scored 2 goals. And then Eakins went, you think you're going to get me back? Look at my system. 4 straight against.
Yeah, I was happy that Silfverberg was shooting more that game. He had 3 shots on net, and I think he had a couple that were either blocked or missed the net or like tipped wide or whatever too. So
possessed. Here, I'll double check that actually of like shots blocked and
yeah, that would be great because I meant to do that and I totally forgot. But yeah, he had a lot of great opportunities, and when Silfverberg has that shot first mentality, there's a good chance that it's either going in the net or it's a grade A scoring opportunity. So I'm very happy about that.
So Silfverberg had 3 shots and 1 shot blocked by a player. So 4 attempts, it looks like here.
Okay. Yeah. And that unblocked one, I remembered when I watched the condensed game earlier today, it was like, it almost led to a scoring chance because that was the one where it was like blocked and just kind of dribbled towards the net. And then I think Zegras took a whack at it and then Lundestrom almost poked it in, I think. Or I think I'm mixing that up with something in the Rangers game. I don't know. It was a good scoring opportunity. That was why I remember it. So, you have a note here as well about McTavish's assist on the first Silfverberg goal.
I think it was on the second one there. But yeah, the shot had gone wide, and McTavish is on Wedgwood's left side. And McTavish like turns towards the boards to corral the puck. You can see that he's about to, and then it's that hockey IQ that everybody talks about, right? Of just him realizing, oh, okay, I'm just going to change this up actually. And he just does like a nice deflection almost, or pretty much like with his stick back to the top of the crease where Silfverberg is to put that in. Like he doesn't look at that whatsoever. Yeah. It's just that awareness around him of what's going on and who's about to be where he was, right? Because Silfverberg kind of moves into that position like as he's turning. So
and he realizes that he pulled the defenseman towards him as well because the defenseman is going to kind of follow him into the corner. So it just opened that lane up, and to make that split second decision is very impressive for a 19-year-old in the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, another guy that's going to be so much fun to. It's the kids this year that are going to make this season tolerable. We'll put it that way.
Exactly like last year where Zegras and Drysdale were the fun ones to watch. Now just add McTavish to that list.
Exactly.
So. And Troy, well, I mean, Troy Terry was fun to watch too, but I don't consider him one of the young guys because he's our age. So.
He's got some years under him, I guess, at this point, but he's young comparatively, I guess, to a lot of the league. So I'll still consider him the young guy or one of the young guys.
Yeah, which is fair. So what else? You had a couple other notes here about the Devils game. I really just wanted to talk about Silfverberg. So
yeah, that's fine. I did say like after those couple of goals though, the offense wasn't really able to do anything after that though. I was taking a look at the heat maps after. They just had really spread out chances and like they weren't able to kind of take shots from where they wanted, right? Looking into it, 22 of their 28 shot attempts for the game were considered low danger. So that's, it's not after Silfverberg's kind of flourish there in the first period, it went downhill all around. So it's not, this game's not on just the defense or the defensive system at this point. It is kind of on everywhere. So
yeah, for sure. So you reminded me of something else I wanted to say later on, but Stolarz was in net for this one. I guess we forgot to say that off the top. Obviously, with it being a back-to-back, that you're going to see both goalies most likely. So yeah, we saw Stolarz in that game.
Stoli.
You have negative 0.12 goals saved above expected, which
Yeah.
is basically on par for that.
Yeah,
So
pretty
that was good.
close. Yeah, so yeah, Stolarz had 37 saves on 41 shots there for a 902 save percentage. And yeah, his like he had said, his goal save above expected was like a negative 0.1, basically will round it. So yeah, playing par, saving what he should be saving. Goals are going in that are more likely to go in and that kind of thing, right? So yes, Sully had a really good game. I thought that game there was like a couple breakaway chances that he had against that they made saves on. The one that real like first comes to mind is like at the end of the first period there, I think it was, with like seconds to spare. Uh, yeah, big save on that one, and yeah, he played well. So like I can't really think of many games that were complaining about Stolarz's game too much, and I don't know if we see a couple more out of the gate from Gibson the way that we have, I'd like to see more of Stolarz, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to keep us somewhat competitive, I guess. So
yeah. Yeah, I actually had this as a note for later, but we can talk about it now. So, with how Stolarz played in this game and in the couple games in relief already, and from what we know of Stolarz already, right? He is not. He can't be relied on as a starting goaltender, or maybe even a 1A. But I think he's way beyond that backup goalie role now, and I wonder if we see Stolarz as more of a 1B, kind of splitting almost 50-50 with Gibson, especially considering how Gibson started the season. I wonder if we see more of that
with
throughout the season.
how Gibson's played over the last couple of seasons and the first bit into this year, I would be okay with that because it's almost a walking cliche at this point of uh like Gibson's like just played every game to start the season and then is just run into the ground by January and dips off hard, right? I don't know. Fortunately, unfortunately, that dip is coming right at the start of the season this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, now feels like the right time just to right away go, okay, John, you know what? This isn't working anymore, right? We know you want the net. Every goaltender wants the net, but for your health, even, right? We got to move to a bit more of a tandem situation here.
Yeah, and not even just for that, for the team, because
Yeah.
I know it's only 4 games, but Stolarz is the one who is keeping us competitive at this point. It's not
Yeah.
Gibson.
Yeah, it's not fair to Stolarz as well that he's putting up like decent numbers, good numbers even, right? And is forced to sit on the bench for 50 some games, right? That's I don't think that's fair to him.
Yeah, and unless Gibson's putting up a 950 save percentage and
Yeah,
letting
if
in a
Gibson
goal a
goes on an
game,
absolute heater,
yeah.
sure, right? You ride the hot goalie, but even last year, right? 26 or 28 games played. Stolarz was exactly -1 goal save above expected. He did his job, right? So, like, why is that a guy that you're forcing to sit on the bench?
Yeah.
Right? Like, yes, John Gibson makes a lot of money. John Gibson is one of the faces of the franchise at this point, right? John Gibson is a big name in Anaheim. But if he's constantly getting run into the ground and not looking good, right? If on the off chance you're Verbeek is wanting to trade him come the trade deadline, no one's going to look at, even with the situation that the Ducks are in, no one's going to look at a goalie with an 860, 870 save percentage and for last year's numbers, a -14.3 goal save above expected and whatever other stats you want to bring up, any other clips you want to bring up and go, yeah, we're going to pay a like
an
a
arm and a
decent
leg for that.
yeah, like or at least a decent price for that. Right? Like you can get Arizona got better than that at a Connor Ingram off the waiver wire before the season started.
Yeah.
Right? No team's going to want to pay for that. So if that's an idea that is even just somewhat in your head to help this team for the future, some changes have to be made. Again, it's a lot of system things have to be changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Just to kind of jump ahead a little bit, I think because before the next episode, we're going to have Thursday against Boston and Sunday against Detroit. Those are the two games. And I think you have to give, I think you give Gibson Thursday against Boston again because he's your starting goalie right now. And you've got to give him that opportunity to redeem himself. Unless he puts up a shutout, I don't think you go back to him on against Detroit. Like, even if it's a 4-1 win against Boston, I think Stolarz has earned the opportunity to play that Sunday game against Detroit because it's a statement to him that, like, okay, thank you for everything you've done during these first few games. You have earned yourself another start that maybe we weren't going to give you. But it's also a message to John Gibson that says, thank you for that win against Boston. But Stolarz has also earned just as good of an opportunity as you, and there's going to be some competition for the net now. So you just got to keep doing what you're doing against Boston if you want to go back to that 1A/starter role, because right now we're giving games to Stolarz. That's what I would do, because it's okay. Here you go, Gibson. Here's your game. We're not benching you. You're not a backup. But regardless of the outcome of this one, Stolarz is playing Sunday because he's earned it. So I think it's a good statement either way. But.
Yeah. And what to do with the goaltenders seems to be where we disagree, right? Because you're coming from an outside perspective, and I'm coming also from the perspective of, if I'm the goalie in that situation, how do I feel about it too, right? Or what makes sense, having gone through just like junior levels of whatever. But yeah, this is a case though where I do 100% agree with you as well. Stolarz is, so far this season, has earned his right to that net, right? And yeah, unless it's another 40 shots against, and I'll say Gibson lets in 2, or I guess if you want to look at like goal save above expected, he's got a -1 on the sheet, right? At most in the negatives, right? Because I think I know the game against the Rangers, he was negative 2.59. So you round that up to 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I believe he's been, I just don't remember for the Seattle game. Anyway, yeah, like unless you see like some quality numbers out of this guy, right? Like, again, while keeping in mind what's being played in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you see that improve, it's got to be Stoley's net, I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of the case where it's like, I don't care about the cap hit, because what Gibson's cap hit should be reflective of his play. And unfortunately, it's flipped right now, right? The guy that's making, what's Stoley making? 1.5, I think it was.
No, I think he's still sub 1 mil, honestly.
Is he? Anyway, the guy that's a lot closer to league min than you are is outplaying you, and not just by a little bit. So,
yeah. Stoley is on the second year of a 2-year deal where he's making $950,000 each year.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's not what you want from Gibson, to be outplayed by a sub 1 million goaltender. But
purely speculative on my part. I have no information to this whatsoever, but I gotta wonder, just because of we've been talking a lot about the defensive system and the goaltending at this point, right? I just kind of wonder if those two know that as well, right? Like Gibson's even going like, the system in front of me does not work, and you kind of wonder why my numbers are hurting in a way. Whereas, Eakins is the guy who's just throwing him out there to the wolves, basically. Right. So I just kind of wonder if there's maybe something even between those two. But again, purely speculative. I'm just talking out loud, right? But that's not something that would surprise me, I guess. We'll never know. But
it's interesting to think about anyways. But we kind of deviated from the Devils game to talk about that. But was there anything else you wanted to bring up about the game against the Devils, or was that kind of it?
I think that was kind of it. Again, I'm not going to harp too much on the defense, but yeah, again, I was looking at the heat maps and whatnot. The Devils got to shoot from wherever they wanted, in their places were top of the crease and and Stoley's right side just inside the dot there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the Devils had their way with this game. Looking at Money Puck's deserve to win meter. Again, also keeping in mind that the Ducks played the Devils on the second half of a back-to-back, right? Where you just ran a marathon basically with the Rangers there.
Mm-hmm.
The deserve to win meter was actually in less favor for the Ducks in the second game against a lesser opponent, and I don't even feel comfortable saying that at this point, considering what they did to us.
Mm-hmm.
Compared than the Rangers, it was 17% for the Ducks against the Rangers, 14 against the Devils there. So, not a whole lot of a difference. And keeping in mind the second half back to back, but I just looked at that and I'm just like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Just as well, we had both predicted the score for this one as well. I'd said 4-1, so only off by one Anaheim goal, and you had said 3-2 for Anaheim. So
yikes.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm sorry, Lindy Ruff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh no, I guess I had the score flipped too, but yeah. So we were both kind of close on the score, but wrong on the team. So.
Okay, I have a quick question for you. I don't have it in the notes here, and then, or actually, is there something that you want to talk about first at all, or?
I have some general thoughts about both of the games, but
okay, go ahead then, and then I'll ask you this question before we go to a break.
Okay, sounds good. So
it'll force us to keep the conversation short, hopefully like a sentence, basically.
Okay, gotcha. So I've noticed a couple things. Well, one thing with Kevin Shattenkirk, and how he plays cross crease passes or 2-on-1s.
Yeah.
You notice that too?
A little bit, yeah. As soon as I saw you like type that in, I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about, actually.
There was a goal against the Rangers that he was the lone defenseman between the two Rangers, and then there was a play against the Devils, and it was near the end of the game, and they didn't score on it, but they got a really good opportunity. And the way Shattenkirk plays we'll just call it a 2-on-1, but tries to prevent that cross crease pass is not how I would play that at all. He stands pretty evenly between the two guys and just tries to knock the puck down with his stick. But every player on that is going to put a little bit of sauce on that between his legs, which is almost impossible to knock down. Like he totally missed the one that ended up in a Rangers goal, and he just nicked the one against the Devils just to probably make it so that whoever the Devil was got a weak shot off.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think that might have been a goal. But that's not a reliable way to try and break up a cross crease pass. Like you've got to get your body in front of that, or you've got to like lay your stick down, take a knee, something to get your body in front of that.
Yeah.
Because that, or the other option is, well, because you're supposed to take the pass on a 2-on-1 if it's a rush, let the goalie handle the shooter. Then you got to play the body on the guy who doesn't have the puck. You've got to there's no point pinching towards the guy with the puck because he's going to just put it between your legs before you even know what's going on. And then the other guy's got a wide open net. If you stand closer to or skate closer to the other guy, then you both see the puck coming and you can just take his stick away. It doesn't matter. You don't need to get the puck at that point. You just need to prevent the other guy from getting the puck. So I am not a fan of the way Shattenkirk plays those. And I gave him a pass on the Rangers one because it's early in the season. It's against a fast Rangers team. But when the same thing happens against the Devils as well, that's when I see a pattern and I don't like how that is. I don't know if that's how he's always done it, or if it's a result of the system. I didn't notice it with anyone else. It was only Kevin Shattenkirk. I tried to quickly scan through both condensed games again to see if anyone else did it, and not quite, but that it concerns me, and I hope that I'm sure he notices that, but I hope that it doesn't happen again, and he does something to fix it, or if it's a system problem, the system gets fixed. So,
yeah, I am glad that you brought up that second variation of what you were talking about, of like handling the potential pass receiver, I guess, a little bit more. Because I was going to bring that up, actually. I was going to ask, like, do you remember, like, for us just playing ball hockey, if there was a 2-on-1 chance, like how I asked you and the rest of our defense to kind of handle it, right? And that's the way, at least from just my opinion, that's how I would prefer my defense to handle that situation, right? Let me handle the guy that I know has the puck, and you know what? If he scores it, then it's on me, right? But I'm not trying to fight with my defenseman essentially to stop a puck in that in that way. So right, it's like just eliminate that chance, and you basically create it to be a breakaway essentially, which some people, just thinking about it, may not like that idea. From a goalie's perspective, though, I would almost prefer that, at least. And
in
I'm
a
sure,
2-on-1 situation, right?
yeah, and I'm sure Gibson and Stoley are probably along the like similar things, or like similar train of thought there. So yeah, I am glad that you brought that up though, because I was like as soon as you were talking about it, I'm like, okay, this is how I would want him if I was in that game, I guess, like Stolars's position. Like I'm like, this is how I would want him to do it. And then you brought it up, and I was like, he did learn something from me.
I did, yeah. But I don't know. It's just I expected something else from a veteran defenseman, and Shattenkirk has been known more for his offense than his defense. So
yeah,
I'm not trying to knock too much on him, but
as a defenseman, this feels like basic stuff that's getting messed up here.
Yeah, exactly. So either it's early in the season or it's a system problem, and I hope that I'm going to be on the lookout for it now, and I hope that I don't see any of the younger guys making that mistake, because then it's a big fat problem. So
yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, I'm just seeing some comments here. We got Amon in the chat. Hey, Amon, saying Ducks look good right now, in my opinion. We know they aren't there yet, given their roster. We did kind of touch on it before. It's not the roster so much to me. Like, yes, there's a couple pieces maybe here or there missing. I think it's more a system problem, because we can see that the offense can do it. We've seen the goaltending definitely do it before, right? And on paper, it's the defense should be decent, put it that way. It's a system problem, even just transition both ways up the ice, but especially a system thing in the defensive end, I think is what's costing us games here. So
yeah,
the roster is definitely a factor. When you're just above the cap floor, yeah, makes sense. But even with the roster we have, it could be better, I think. So
yeah,
that's just my opinion, though. And everybody's totally entitled to their opinions. Amon, you're entitled to your opinion as well, saying that the Ducks look good right now. So,
and yeah, this as well. Still building chemistry on defense. That is definitely a big part of it, because the defense got overhauled quite a lot already.
That is true.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about Adam Henrique only in a good way, because he had a really good opportunity against the Rangers. He was right in front of the net, and Shesterkin just made an amazing desperation glove save on him, but otherwise it was labeled for the back of the net, so his positioning was awesome there. He also had a breakaway against the Devils where he, I think, went 5-hole on Blackwood, but it just unluckily hit the post and came back out. I thought he scored on it.
I thought he did too. I thought that like kind of like just hit and bounced out kind of thing. Yeah, I was with you there.
But no, it was off the post. So I really like the way he's playing. He's just a little unlucky right now, so I hope he keeps it up. I hope that they keep him in the top 6 as well, because he's earned it. His play has shown that he can play there, and I think once he can get one, then he's going to be good, and then we'll have no issues with him. So
yeah, absolutely.
Just wanted to point that out, that even though he hasn't got on the score sheet in these couple games, actually I don't know if he's gotten on the score sheet at all this season. I feel like he has, but I don't want to be misleading here. Where's no points yet. So even though he's been held off the score sheet so far, it's not for lack of effort like last season where he got sent down and put on waivers. If you remember, was that last season? No, that was 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's not like that. He's doing fine. So, this is another brief one. I don't know if you noticed it, but Zegras getting manhandled a little bit against the opposing defense. There was one play in particular that stood out to me. He entered the zone against the Devils and then was looking for the pass and turned his back towards the defenseman and then got shoved off the puck. Looked like with relative ease by Damon Severson. Do you remember?
Yeah,
that play?
kind of a little bit of a cross check to the back there, and that's
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that's something I noticed actually, just like over kind of the weekend and into these games, like not just in Ducks games, like seeing highlights from others and whatnot. The stick on the back seems to be kind of let go
a little bit, yeah.
Which that needs to get tightened up by the refs 100%, because cross checking a guy in the back, as somebody who has taken one not suspecting it in a place with no gear whatsoever, that can mess you up.
Yeah.
So yeah, the refs gotta tighten up on that too.
And yeah, I agree for sure.
And luckily it wasn't in a Ducks game, but of course we're not even through like the first full week of the season, I guess, with like regular games happening, and we're already questioning again what goaltender interference is. So where NHL hockey is back, everybody. The rules are getting thrown out the window. Nobody knows what goaltender interference still is, even though it's written in a rule book. And yeah, we're back.
yeah. I agree. I do agree that the cross checks need to be cleaned up. This is, I don't want it to sound like I'm harping on Zegras because I love the man, but I would like to see him work more on, I guess, like being hard on his stick in a way. Like, I know he's not a power forward, but because he is the most skilled guy on the Ducks roster at this point, and I challenge anybody to prove me wrong otherwise. He is he needs to be able to protect the puck and be able to, I guess, take a bump and not lose the puck. Because right now it looks like some of the not earlier, but like from a few years ago, some of the NHL games where like literally you can just like coast at the slowest speed into a guy, and then they're like, oh fuck, and then the puck's gone. Right? Like that. That's kind of what Zegras has looked like in a few situations. So yeah, Amon does agree with me here, so that's good. He says he needs to bulk up a little bit. I get that he's still young, but it's just something he needs to work on. Watch some Nathan McKinnon tape or something and just figure it out that way.
Yeah, Amon's got exactly what my rebuttal to that was going to be. The guy's listed at 6 foot 185. Well, it's not a light player. It's not a heavy player either, right? And we're not looking for him to pack on to like 225 or something like that, right? But like get around to like even like 195, 200. That's gonna be a lot harder for guys to knock him off the puck, and that'll come with age too, right? So like he is only 21. Give him another season or two at least, kind of thing, to put on that kind of muscle. It'll happen. I can see it.
Yeah. The last thing here, I was going to go more into depth on this, but I see we're running out of time, so I'll just keep it very short. I have a theory about why we're getting so badly outshot, and I want to know your thoughts on this and everybody else's thoughts as well.
Okay.
And I think it's because we don't have anyone that's like that guy that can just go into the corner and come out with the puck, you know? And even then, like, we don't even really have guys like, I guess system wide, it's a system issue as well, that we don't have anyone that's going for these pucks. Like, yeah, someone follows the guy into the boards, but they're letting them get there and then trying to take it away from them. But that's not really our skill set. Like, I think it needs to be more of like we need to beat the players to the puck in the corner, and then you'll probably have to take a hit, but hopefully you can make a play before that. So I think that has to do with it. But also, I noticed on the penalty kill, we're kind of just sitting back and waiting for things to happen, waiting for the team to come to us. And the Devils played it exactly oppositely. And there was no power play goals in that game. So both systems, I guess, can be effective.
Luckily.
But, but I don't think the sitting back and waiting thing is what, made our penalty kill stand out, because it didn't work against the Rangers. And also we got caught puck watching a lot and not following the players that were trying to sneak away in the background. Every single goal in these last two games that I watched where it wasn't on the rush. It was the team had set up in the zone. The opposing team had set up in the zone. We were just watching the guy with the puck. And like they were maybe kind of covering a guy, but right before the goal is scored, you can see that whoever was covering that guy was caught watching the puck and then just kind of was coasting around. And then they were like, oh, fuck, this guy's wide open. And then it's in the back of the net and it's too late at that point. So it's, again, I think it's a system thing or an early season, like straight leg kind of thing. But we need to see a little bit more movement, a little more man-on-man coverage, and a little bit more willingness to get the puck, because we're just letting the other team kind of do whatever they want, put a bunch of shots on net, and then eventually we get the puck and have a 50-50 chance of having a good breakout pass to get it out of the zone. But that's why there's so many shots. If we can just make things more difficult for the opposing team, we're bound to come out with the puck and limit their shots, and then likewise get more shots in the offensive end, or have a chance at breaking out, because that's a whole other issue that I don't want to get into. But we can't just get, like, it's our zone. We can't just sit around and wait for things to happen.
Yeah, right? No, absolutely. Kevin here, the chat's got a good point. There's no defenseman, right? That guy that you're talking about will go into the corners and can, like, is the defensive guy, right? Like, yeah, he's got a point. You go through that lineup and it's a mix of offensive and two-way defenseman almost, right? Like, nobody's really that defensive defenseman anymore. And before Kevin had even commented this, I was like, missing Josh Manson is a big thing. And then sure enough, like, I think it was like a minute later, Kevin popped up, God, I miss Manson. So just to find somebody like that, because it is hard to replace a guy like Manson, right? But just to find somebody with similar attributes, I guess, right, to his game. That's definitely something that the Ducks need to be looking into, I think.
When we got Kulikov, I did say on Twitter that this was kind of Manson's replacement because they play a very similar way. Unfortunately, Kulikov's just not that second pairing guy, and we've seen that in the first couple games already and talked about it on the last episode. So he plays that way, but he doesn't play enough top minutes for that playing that way to be effective. I guess long term, like throughout the game, right? So it's a step in the right direction, but we need somebody else that can learn to play that way from Kulikov or something like that. But yeah.
Okay.
And same with the forwards as well. Like, the forwards need to be on that too. It's not just on the defense. But.
No, 100%. It's a team defense thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Those were all kind of my general thoughts that I would like to see improved over the next couple of weeks. But yeah. You had a question now before we head to break?
Yeah. So this has been a discussion kind of going around on Twitter, especially during the Devils game. I don't know if you saw it, and depending on your answer, this could be really quick or kind of quick.
Okay.
All right. If it's really quick, we're just headed straight into a break, and it feels like the most logical answer, I guess.
Okay.
On a scale, so you have three options here. Okay.
Okay.
There's yes, maybe, which is kind of a weak answer, I'll say. Okay. So it's
an option, but don't pick it.
I'll judge you silently.
Okay.
But I'll be understanding. So yes, maybe, or fuck no. Okay.
Okay.
The Ducks are 3 games now into a 5-game road trip, if I remember the schedule off the top of my head. Like we said, Boston and Detroit are coming up. If we go 0 for 5 on the road here, start the season 1-5, does Dallas Eakins have a job when he gets back?
I regretfully will say yes, because it's still early in the season.
You picked the wrong answer, damn it.
No, this is what I think, because you're asking what I think will happen. Like, if I can look into, excuse me, look into a crystal ball.
Sorry,
what do I foresee happening?
Sorry, I guess I phrased the question wrong, actually.
Okay.
Does Dallas Eakins get fired when we get back? That's the question, I guess, I was supposed to ask. I just phrased it differently.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, then my answer changes. I still say no. I guess, to that. No, I don't think he gets fired.
Okay.
Would I want him to be fired? Yes. But
because he get fired realistically?
Because essentially this is Pat Verbeek's first coach, because he came in and then he said, I am choosing to extend Dallas Eakins' contract for another year. It's kind of his way of saying, I'm putting my faith in this guy. And if he gets fired after an 0-6 start, it's like saying, I fucked up and we're only 6 games into the season. And I have no other plan because I was banking on Dallas Eakins for a whole season. So we're already packing it in for the season. Sorry, guys. Sell your season tickets. Like, I just don't see that happening. If Pat Verbeek had come in, like, not last year, but the year before, then I could say, like, okay, Dallas, we had you for the full year to see out your contract. We tried to give you another start, but like, it's obviously not working. We need to turn this season around. But because Verbeek is the new GM, it's a no.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't get fired.
Okay, good. That is actually the right answer. Like I said, it was my phrasing of the question. I screwed that up.
Okay. Gotcha.
For me, it's a difference between losing, because I did see here last one left in the chat saying we're going for Bedard so Eakins stays.
Yeah.
If we're doing okay and still losing and like giving us, I guess, the chance for Bedard, I say he stays. If you get to like the quarter or halfway point of the season and it's just embarrassing loss after embarrassing loss, then I think he has to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because you can't let that sink in with the players, I don't think. Something's got to change at that point, and I don't know if it would be on the players there. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, sounds good.
I was seeing people say, like, you know, if they go 0-5 on this road trip, he has to be gone, kind of thing. And I'm like, no, not yet. Like, I understand the idea behind it, but no, it's not.
Let's chill for.
Let's be rational about this.
Yeah. Okay. On the other side of the break, we will talk about the couple upcoming games that we've already kind of alluded to earlier. We will give an update on the San Diego Gulls, the Ducks AHL affiliate, and then a little something for What's Quacking. But yeah, that'll be on the other side of the break, and we will see you guys in a couple of minutes.
Hockey fans, it's finally time to hit the ice again. And thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you're in for the season of a lifetime. New customers can bet $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets if they win. Maybe you want to take the odds on Mason McTavish winning the Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year this year. He has the second best odds on DraftKings Sportsbook behind Matty Beniers of the Seattle Kraken at plus 500. And if that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use the promo code THPN, bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game, and get $200 in free bets if they do. Again, that's code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
So we are playing our next game Thursday night against the Boston Bruins. That is another 4 p.m. Pacific time start. Gotta love the good old East Coast road trip there that makes it so games start too early for the West Coast, but whatever. The Bruins are currently 3-1 on the season. They went 3-0 before losing 7-5 to the Sens. That was Monday night. So just an absolute barn burner there for that one. That was an interesting game to follow. Yeah, Allmark and Swayman, the goaltenders with the Bruins. Swayman was the one in net for the terrible loss. To the Senators, not terrible, but the 7 goals against the Sens.
Yeah.
So I imagine that we will see Allmark in net for that one against the Ducks on Thursday. And he's had a pretty good season, so a little terrifying there. But I don't think the Bruins changed too much this year, but they did bring back David Krejci from, where was he playing? Czech League?
Czech League, I think, yeah.
Let's have a look-see at the lines for this one.
Boston's becoming another old boys club. You notice that?
Yeah, they
just
are.
A little bit.
just trying to bring back the nostalgia. Yeah. I guess Taylor Hall and Brad Marchand are out, so that's a tough look on. Oh no, Taylor Hall, he's right there. Never mind.
Yeah,
just
Taylor
Brad
Hall's
Marchand's up.
Back, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I don't remember now. Oh, I think I was about to say that like Taylor Hall was back actually.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is Pavel Zacha new to them, or did they get him at the deadline last year?
I
thought. I thought that was a new acquisition because I thought he was. Oh, didn't he go to the island at the deadline last year?
I am double checking right now.
Oh no, he was there all year last. Oh no, New Jersey. Who am I thinking of that went to the Islanders? Okay, but yes, he's a new offseason acquisition for the Bruins. 3 points already in the 4 games there. Yeah, besides that, kind of just same old in Boston. Get to see Hampus Lindholm again, so that'll be fun. Charlie McAvoy is still out injured. And yeah, that's how things are going in Boston. So they got a pretty good team still. It's going to be another tough one, I think.
Still, it's a hitter team that's still going to spank us.
Yeah.
You want a score prediction, don't you?
I do, yes.
Seeing how the last few games have gone, I'm going to call 5-2 Boston.
Okay, I could see that.
If we're going on the idea that Gibson's in net.
That's true. I think this is going to be another tough one. I know that I put the Bruins quite a bit lower than the Rangers this season in our division predictions, but I think unfortunately we played close to our A game against the Rangers, which sucks to say, at least offensively, but I don't know if we'll have that same effort against the Bruins. So I'm going to predict 6-3 again for the Rangers, or for the Bruins.
6-3? Okay.
Yeah, so similar to you, just actually we have the exact same predictions. 6-3 and 5-2 or what we said.
Oh my God, did
Rangers. We? Yeah. Oh wow, we're so lame. Okay, we'll see how that one goes.
At least we're on par with like how we think this team will do against some of the better teams, I guess.
We're consistent, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Red Wings now, who are also off to a somewhat decent start. They are currently 2-0-1. Yes, 2-0-1 on the season. They will play Chicago on Friday before us. And then, so, I mean, probably safe to say another win for them there. So then, yeah, we will be next up against the Red Wings on Sunday. That is a 2 p.m. start Pacific time for that one.
I was going to say Detroit's first 3 games, beating Montreal 3-0, beating New Jersey 5-2, and then losing to the Kings in overtime 5-4.
Oh, that was that one. That's right. Yeah, I mean, so they're probably performing as I would expect them to, you know? Like,
yeah.
I think that 2-0-1 record is inflated a little bit by playing not great teams, maybe. Not as great teams. So,
yeah. They've taken a step forward, like we kind of talked about on the preseason thing, but like I kind of anticipated them doing better than New Jersey.
Yeah, and they beat them, so.
Or sorry, not as good as New Jersey.
Oh, not as good. Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
But New Jersey was doing some weird shit to start the season. So I think what we saw against them in our game against them is, I mean,
keeping Lindy Ruff is some weird shit, but
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think Yeah, I don't know what to think about this one, honestly.
You know what? I'm going to modify my prediction, actually, for the game against the Bruins.
Okay. I wrote it in pen, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to modify it. I'm going to go 4-3 instead. Still in favor of the Bruins.
Okay.
I'm going to make the Detroit game 5-3.
5-3 Detroit. Okay. I mean,
I feel like there's still a chance. I'm going with the idea until I see otherwise that it's going to be Gibson.
That's fair. Yeah. This is I'm going to go off of what I said earlier because we're fairly confident that Dallas Eakins has a listen to our episodes, or somebody on the coaching staff does. So I think they're going to be
it's a little suspicious when, like, we joke about it all the time. It's a touch suspicious though when we talk about defensive pairings on the last episode, and then they get almost put identical against New Jersey. Two guys have to be swapped around, and it's exactly what we're talking about. Again, there's 6 guys, right? There's only so many combinations you can do, but really?
And that's just one example of things that have happened. So yeah. So Eakins, if you're listening to this, and I think that you agree with me here that Stellaris is probably a good choice to play on Sunday against Detroit here. So I think it's going to be a close game because Detroit's a good team. And we're not exactly going to be a defensive powerhouse. And taking a look at the defensive pairings in Detroit, I mean, it looks good.
Read it off.
We'll say they have a bad game. We'll say they have a bad game. I'll read it off in a second here. But I think we really take it to them offensively. I think the Ducks win this one 5-4.
Ooh, okay.
And as a little bonus prediction, I'm going to say that's in overtime or a shootout.
All right.
Overtime/shootout.
All right.
It's going to be a little bonus hockey on your Sunday afternoon. So the Red Wings defensive pairings, they have Seider and Ben Sherratt at the top, Olli Mata and Philip Hronik on the second pair, and Robert Hagg with Gustav Lindstrom on the third pair. And looks like all their injuries are forwards or guys who probably wouldn't slot in there anyways. So
could be better, could be worse.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
that team is like starting to ramp up on their building for sure. It's going to be still a couple more years away, and for Detroit fans that are happening to listen to this but also like just it's okay. Like you got Stevie Y at the wheel here.
Yeah.
It's all going to be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Get ready for another quarter century of playoff berths in a row.
Yeah, no kidding.
It'll happen in the next 5 at least.
Yeah. For those that would like a quick refresher on the offseason moves made by the Red Wings, they acquired Ville Husso as another goalie from the St. Louis Blues there. Alex Nedeljkovic was there last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 years ago that he came over from Carolina. So those two as a pretty solid tandem. Husso, one of 2 goalies, I believe, to have a shutout so far this season. They also acquired Andrew Kopp and David Perron and Dominic Kubalik to flesh out their forwards. So add those guys to a top 6 of Larkin, Zadina, and Raymond. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I do. If I remember this correctly, that's the first time that David Perron has been a free agent and not signed with St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Perron's played with a few different teams, but he always goes back to St. Louis during free agency. And that's the first time he hasn't, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, no, you're right. And then Tyler Bertuzzi is out injured. Probably COVID. No, I'm just kidding. 4 to 6 weeks with an upper body injury. So, but it sounds like he was on the top line and Kubalik took his spot. So in the meantime there. Yeah. So
I think I was seeing on Twitter, it was like a clip of like Bertuzzi just missing the net or something like that. And somebody comments like, oh, that was the first shot that Bertuzzi missed. I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. That's a smart one there.
I like that one.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the upcoming games. We will talk about those on Sunday, see how close our predictions were. I've decided that I don't want to have just like 40 sticky notes for the, well, not 40, but just a ton of sticky notes for the season. So I'll make us a little spreadsheet and then I'll color code it so we can see how awful our predictions are.
Sounds
pull
good.
It up every week or so. But
sounds good.
I will do that at some point this weekend. Gulls update. Let's get into that. So Gulls season started.
Sorry, we're gonna go back up to the news thing after the Gulls. I'm fine with that.
Oh shit! I've totally skipped over that. Yeah.
We'll do the Gulls update because we started. Yeah. It's all good.
Okay. Yeah.
I just reminding you.
I was just going to keep on trucking on through everything. So, but I know you're not one to forget about that. So.
Nah.
Yeah. Gulls update. They started the AHL season last week, and the first 2 games were against the Grand Rapids Griffins. Who is that? A new new AHL team? I don't recognize.
No, Grand Rapids has been around for a long time as the affiliate for the Red Wings.
Okay. Interesting. I guess just I haven't paid that much attention to the AHL. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, one of the few teams in the AHL that like have their own history kind of thing that's not directly tied to an NHL team or that, and like kind of have their own identity out of it. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So we went there for the first 2 games, played both of them at home there. I'm assuming because it's a long way to go for a couple games. But so we spoiled the Griffins home opener with a 6-2 win for the Gulls, and then the following night received a 8-5 revenge spanking, as I put it in the outline here, from them. So split those 2 games. So with a lot of goals as well. I mean, 11 goals by the Gulls in the first 2 games, but unfortunately we let in 10 of them as well. So yeah, that's how those 2 went. I'm gonna just jump around a little bit here. So top 5 players already for the Gulls. Nicholas Brouillard, defenseman for the Gulls, has 5 points already in those couple games. 2 goals and 3 assists, sorry. Glenn Godden, who got a good shot with the Ducks at training camp, put up 4 points, 2 each for goals and assists there. Ole Uelevi, 4 points as well. Braden Tracy with 3, and Danny O'Regan with 3 to round out the top 5 there.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strong start from our Gulls team. So yeah, currently sitting 5th in the Pacific Division. Mind you, the Pacific Division has 10 teams, but again, mind you, we're only 2 games into the season. So
yeah, exactly.
It's all right. We're just right down the middle. We're all good.
Yeah. Lucas Dostal played in both of these 2 games, started both of these 2 games actually. I'm assuming 6 goals against. What was that? That doesn't add up.
Yeah, 2 games played. One was an empty net.
Okay. Oh, 7. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're good. No, I thought there was 10. Are we sure we did not see another goalie? Are we
pretty positive? Sure? The stats didn't show it. Yeah, 2 games played. Yeah,
you got to click on all goalies. 7. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, Lucas Dostal played in 2 of the games, a 4.94 goals against average and an 813 save percentage. So totally what we would like to see there. Ole Erikssonek appeared in one of the games, I'm assuming in relief.
Probably, yeah.
Because he played 45 minutes there, 3 goals, let in 3 goals, which is good for a 3.93 goals against average there, and an 889 save percentage. And thankfully, both of those guys are doing better than the empty net, who in 1 minute and 17 seconds of play has a 46.75 goals against average and a 0 save percentage. So we are doing, even though those numbers don't sound great for Dostal and Erikssonek, we are doing better than just running 6 forwards.
Yes. We are doing better.
Yeah.
Again, it's only 2 games into the season. Numbers will balance out. It's all good.
Yeah. Looking ahead to upcoming games here, the Gulls will play their home opener against the Ontario Reign on Friday, October the 21st. You can watch that game on AHL TV if you pay a shitload of money for the subscription.
I thought about us like splitting for it or something like that.
I thought about it too. I just don't know if I would wouldn't be able to watch enough to make it worth it. Yeah. You can just buy like the team subscription. You don't have to get like, here's access to every single AHL game. I think it's like $65 US for one team season and $45 if you just want the away games. So it's probably not bad if that's the team that you're invested in. Well, I mean, it's not bad if that's the team you're invested in, but for someone who probably isn't going to have the time to watch them all. Although to be fair, they are mostly on weekends. It's not quite close enough. So.
Yeah.
We'll see though. So yes, with that being the home opener on Friday, it is a very special night there. It is rally towel giveaways. There is light up wristbands. There's the promise of a pregame laser show.
That's what that is. I was just like, what's Laza?
Laser. It's laser. I'm assuming the wristbands will like flash to the music. So it's going to be
everybody
very cool.
Get ready for wristbands and laser shows. and some Raleigh towels.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure that I looked this up before or like knew of it, but the Ontario Reign, who's obviously the LA Kings AHL affiliate, well, maybe not obviously, but it is in case you don't know, for anyone that's listening. I kind of just always assumed that the Ontario Reign were like on the province of Ontario. And I was like, I know that not all teams are like close to their NHL affiliate, but like Ontario seems like a long ways away for LA. Like you couldn't find anything closer, really. Yeah. And then I realized that there's an Ontario in California, like not far
city
from
of
LA,
Ontario.
Yeah. So it makes a lot more sense. And I'm sure I've looked that up before or somebody's told me, but like it just clued in because I was like, they played it in California, like in San Diego on Friday for the home opener. And then they're on the road. They go all the way to Ontario for a Saturday game. I was like, that'd be like rough. Wildly inefficient. Yeah. But it's like right there. It's a quick ride or a quick flight. So
yeah.
The Gulls will also be wearing their third jerseys for this game, which if anyone needs a reminder about what those beauties look like, I have got them right here.
I remember that these were jerseys that like we were both kind of hit or miss on at first, but very quickly they grew on us more.
Yeah, so like the little arched Gulls thing, ignore the ad there. They're not paying us, so just pretend it's not there. The shoulder patch there is just their regular logo. The can kind of see the full kit a little more here, but actually this is a good one with the jersey. Mm-hmm. The Ducks foot on.
It's a clean shoulder patch. It's a clean look based on the original San Diego Gulls. So.
Yeah, America's finest city in the collar here, which is a nice little touch. I'm assuming these are the years that San Diego won the Calder Cup, or the equivalent.
Might be. I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got to look into some more AHL history. I need to bump myself up a bit more in that category.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's those. They really remind me of like a baseball jersey. I think it's just like the arched name plate on the front, and that's it. Like that's a pretty common thing in the MLB. I was gonna say AHL, and I was like, nope, the other one. Not the other one, but different league. So yeah, that's what's going on Friday in San Diego and Saturday as well in Ontario, the California city, not the province in Canada. And we'll talk about those next week, next Wednesday when we do our next Gulls update. We'll talk about how that one's going. So
there you go.
I guess the Gulls also do play Colorado Eagles the next Wednesday, I think, but the game will be going on as we're doing the episode. So
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just hope everybody enjoys their wristbands and the Laza show.
Yeah. Right. and the Raleigh towels.
I'm not letting you.
I know.
I'm not letting you let that one down.
Yeah, I know. Okay, hopping back to the news that we were supposed to talk about before, that Nate has just been on the edge of his seat.
Speaking of jerseys,
here we go. Take it away.
So Adidas and the NHL today, Wednesday, dropped a couple of teasers for the Reverse Retro program, which is making its return. First seen for the 2020-2021 season. That one for the Anaheim Ducks saw the return of the Wild Wing jersey, but in a white version. So this is the same program as that. Now, there had been speculation for a while of what the Ducks may do, and I tried to dig stuff up, and again, the Ducks are very tight-lipped. But there was a couple little things here and there kind of going around of the Ducks were looking at doing white again. which I was kind of like, I like the colored jerseys, as you can tell behind me if you're watching the video, but I was like, okay, the Ducks have had some good white jerseys in the past. See what they do. And so there was kind of the idea, it was just basically going off the white jersey idea there for a little bit. And then there was a leak on the Fanatics website of not just an Anaheim special edition t-shirt, but I think it was like 27 or 28 teams for the NHL. And they all seem to be, for the special edition, reverse retro logos that are going to be worn by teams this coming season. Ducks one was a Mighty Duck logo in the modern Ducks colors. So the triangle was orange and gold sticks. And right away I went, okay, for myself at least, this goes to two different options, which we did talk about on an earlier episode this season, of 1993, the original Mighty Ducks look, or the alternate jerseys that they had in 97, I believe is when they first got started, or 96. Another rumor that was going around, though, and I wouldn't have hated this idea, because another team seemed to kind of do this with the first reverse retro program. The other idea that was going around was that Anaheim was going to do a white version of the orange alternate that we have right now, and kind of use that as a testing waters for, do they want to make those jerseys the home and away jerseys at that point? I say another team did it similarly with the Calgary Flames. They brought back a modified version of their Blasty jersey from the late 90s, early 2000s, just slightly modified. And then again, they slightly modified it in starting this season. It'll be their alternate jersey. So that idea was kind of out there, but at the same time, my thought was, well, that's not a retro jersey because it's something that is being worn right now, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we got the first tease this morning was just, like just the generic team logo for everybody, and kind of a color of what is going to kind of be based around, I guess, in a way. So the Ducks, obviously, orange. And then later today, we did get some teases of the jerseys themselves. And I do have some pictures here. Where's that tab? Where'd that tab go? Oh, no, I'm on Chrome tabs. That's why. Here we go. So this came later today and made me, and I think a lot of other Ducks fans, very happy. It looks like we are returning back to 1993 with the original Mighty Ducks logo, or Mighty Ducks jersey there in white. And I was kind of taking a look at, because I do like to predict these, and I brought predictions up on the show and that kind of thing that I had done up concepts. And I was looking at the sleeves and I went, hey, just the color placement does look very familiar. And I did compare it with mine, and I got the striping right, it looks like, which made me very happy. And then I was talking with you beforehand of like, for any of the concepts that I've tried that get really close, at least to an idea, it's normally the color that's off. But I did take a look at this again before we started. And unless it's the light of this image playing tricks, does it not look like it kind of goes from a black to a different color right around kind of the hem of it there?
Yeah, like if you go back down to where you can see more of the sleeve, it's very similar to the bottom part of the sleeve, right? Where there's that little bit of an orange tinge to it. Like it's hard to tell because you're shining kind of a primarily orange light on it, so everything kind of does look orange. But like if you look at where the sleeves are, where things look more, where it's presumably white, it doesn't quite have that hue. It's like that. It's just a little bit darker, but it's not black either. So it's
close. So these jerseys will be officially unveiled tomorrow morning. If you're listening to this on Thursday, they should be out at this point, depending, I guess, on when in the morning you're listening to this.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to find confirmed exactly for league wide. One source that I was told, and then also followed up with Chris from Aesthetics, we both got told 11 a.m. Eastern, so 8 a.m. Pacific. So if you happen to still be watching us right now, 8 a.m. Pacific, the jerseys league wide, I would think, are going to drop for the reverse retros. Pre-orders will probably follow after, not long after, for whatever team stores. From what I've gathered so far, like NHL shop and that sort of thing will be the jerseys will be made like actually available to purchase mid-November, but you'll be able to pre-order them probably tomorrow. Or I guess today, depending on when you're listening to this. So
yeah,
but just noticing the collar. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but I may have unintentionally given us our first look at the Ducks reverse retro for this season. So
yeah,
I'm just going to be proud of myself if I did that. So mind you, a lot of people did put out concepts as well, and very similar to what mine was as well. Like I said, my concepts have always just had the collar be off. So, and there were some people that had the striping flipped around of like the gold on the top and the black on the bottom kind of thing before the orange starts. So
yeah.
If I nail this 100%, I'm just going to give myself a nice pat on the back.
Yeah. The only thing I could see is doing more of like the half collar. So it's like black on the front and then it's orange on the back, rather than just like the orange on the top, like you have, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
That's the only thing, like based on the picture, that I think it could end up looking more like. But I mean, either way, you got the colors, and like the colors are like the collars, sorry, are just kind of more like
it's a small detail,
not like a shot in the dark. Yeah. It's harder to get right because it doesn't follow like a plan, like, and you can make multiple colors look good with the same jersey, right? So
yeah.
Also, is that our logo on the shoulder patches?
No, it's not. That's the logo that ours is based off of, though. Okay. It is the original shoulder patch for the
gotcha.
Ducks, so
okay.
But you did kind of bring it up, just the idea of the half collar. This is a total my opinion thing. I hate those half collars. So like the Ducks do have them, right? Like it'll go from the orange just into the black on the home jersey, like the one behind you there, Carter. I'm not a fan of that. So then it really irks me when I notice Dallas is technically a quarter collar, where it's like that back half, it's reduced in size, basically. So if you ever take a look at my concepts, that's why they have like a full collar, like all the way around, basically. So
yeah,
that's a personal thing. Everybody's got their own opinions. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's a opinion. The half collar on the Adidas jerseys, it'll be like the one thing I'll miss when Adidas is no longer the supplier for the NHL here in a couple seasons.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, this is going to be totally relevant in like probably 12 hours, but for us, it's very exciting. And for
you can come back to the YouTube video, or you can tweet us at Quack Report Pod, or you can tweet me individually at Tate Namas, and just go. You can tell me if the color is right and I got it 100%. You can say good job. If not, you can tell me to fuck myself.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, we got I think have I skipped anything else?
No, you haven't skipped anything else.
I'm good now. Okay, cool. So let's get to what's quacking to end off the episode here.
So if you've been a Ducks fan for a while, or at least a hockey fan for a while, you do know the guy, Brian Burke. Worked for the Ducks for quite a while. He was the GM of the Ducks when we won the Stanley Cup in 2007. And I came across this story from his time working in Vancouver, actually. And Carter, I kind of gave you a tease about it, that it was Vancouver based, but also was kind of local for us. This story involves Trevor Linden, who's from our hometown of Medicine Hat, Alberta. I don't know where this came from exactly, but yeah, so this is Brendan Burke telling this story from Vancouver. So we brought in 7 players for a series of psychological and physical tests. One of them was Trevor Linden. He called me the night before and said, "Hi, Mr. Burke, it's Trevor Linden. My dad said I should call you because I can't come on Saturday." I said, "Well, Trevor, none of the players call me Mr. Burke. Call me Berkey. And why can't you come?" Trevor replied, "My dad said I had to call you to say I couldn't come." I said, "I know. I get that part. I heard that twice. Your dad made you call me and that you can't come. But this is the time now. Why can't you come?" Minnesota had the first overall pick that year, and so I thought they were up to something. That's when Linden said, though, "Well, it's branding day at my uncle's ranch in Medicine Hat. So my dad says I have to stay and help him." So I said, "Well, I'm a city boy, so tell me what branding is." He said, "Well, we run range cattle up here in the Hat, and in the spring, we round them up and we brand all the calves. We turn 1-year-old male calves into steers." I said, "Okay, well, what's your job on branding day?" He said, "Well, when the cattle comes out of the pen, I grab them and I hold them down and pin them and we brand them and cut their nuts off." I said, "You can skip these tests. We never tested them." So my dad was good friends actually with Trevor Linden and his family growing up. And he was my dad was my family was up here for Thanksgiving a couple weekends ago, Canadian Thanksgiving. And I showed this story to my dad and he's just like, "Yeah, that sounds like Trev." Just like the way that he kind of went about it of like, yeah, just my dad said I can't come, basically.
Yeah.
So. But I thought that was just a funny story and just shows how different kind of things were. Trevor Linden was drafted, I think, 1988, if I remember that off the top of my head. So, yeah, things are just a little bit different then. So, like, imagine Berkey getting this called today, right? Like,
yeah,
I guess him in Pittsburgh now, right, as the president there. Imagine, I don't know who did Pittsburgh draft this year. Anyway, just imagine him getting that call from somebody that Pittsburgh is looking to draft, and just getting told like, "Hey, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make your testing because I gotta cut the nuts off a cow today or on that day." So, but yeah, I thought that was a good story and shows the kind of guy I think Brian Burke is as well. There's a lot of great stories of him with young guys, the Sedin twins as well. I know there was one of like Berkey had flown over to go see the Sedins play and was like not happy with what he saw in the one game that he watched, but then learned after that the reason that they kind of played like crabs because they were tired because they stayed up for like a good chunk of the night studying for a test they had that day. And he's just like, okay, they got dedication then. So
yeah,
but
that's funny.
Yeah, I do
he has a book, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I got it for Christmas last year, and I just haven't gotten around to reading it, but I really want to. I'm just like, okay, there's a book or two in front of it first. So
yeah,
but
that'd be interesting.
I'm really excited to read that book for sure, though. So
yeah, he's gonna have to come up with another one too, because he wrote that like kind of as he was just doing like broadcasting stuff, right? So
yeah, I think he
kind of thought that his career was done, but now he's obviously back in Pittsburgh, still doing stuff.
So. And Sportsnet does some stories still with him. That's those are always fun to watch as well. So they're all done in like cartoon style and that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely go check those out. So
yeah, it's cool. So okay, well, yeah, that wraps up this edition of the Quack Report. We'll be back on Sunday to talk about some more Ducks games, more Ducks news, all that fun stuff. And Monday. Sorry, I always mess this up. I did it every single time last.
You and I will be back on Sunday. You'll hear. Everybody else will hear from us on Monday.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we will post the video on YouTube so that you can watch it same time as the episode goes live on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, which is midnight Pacific time. So if you happen to be up that late and you just can't wait to get your Ducks fill in there, then it'll be out around midnight or shortly after on your podcast whenever it refreshes the feed. But yes, not Sunday. You can check us out on Monday. But we will be talking about it Sundays. I'm going to try so hard this season to do that as little as possible to mess that up.
All right. So my goal is to not talk about the defense sucking so much. Your goal is to not suck on the Sunday, it's Monday thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good.
The issue is that we used to do our live episodes. We used to do the live episodes Sundays. So like I would actually say Sundays.
Yeah.
And then we moved them to Wednesdays. So now in my mind, it's still, I'm used to saying, we'll see you Sunday. Yeah. But it's just what I did. But now it's Monday. So, and I haven't, it's been 2 seasons since we've done Sunday live episodes and I just can't shake it. So yes. We'll be back Monday with another episode that you can get wherever you listen to your podcast, wherever you're watching or listening to this one right now. It'll be out on Monday and Tuesday for you to listen to it if you're a Tuesday listener. So
not the same episode, a new one.
Brand new.
New.
Yeah, exactly.
Updated content.
Yeah. And if you don't think you can remember that, give us a follow on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or Twitch at Quack Report Pod, because we post everything there. Post game updates, we post episode updates, we post memes, we post lots of stuff. And Nate, where can people follow you as well?
You can follow me on Twitter at Tatenomos, TATENHOMAS.
Yeah, remember, tell them how bad his jersey is. And myself at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. See you later.